Happy Friday. Oh, happy Wednesday. Y'all know I do this every single time. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. We getting ready to have a dope. Hey, and he's already here, so I'm going to let him in the room. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey,
happening?
hey. What's going on,
What's
Curt?
happening? Hey, having a great day on purpose. You know what I mean?
On purpose.
On
On
purpose.
purpose.
On
That's
purpose.
a whole word.
That's a whole one. That's a whole word. Well, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. This is about to be a really dope discussion, so I'm excited about that too.
Yeah, I'm ready to listen to all the wisdom that you have. I'm here to
Oh yeah,
support.
as if this was about to be about me.
It is. It is. It is. I'm just here to give love and support.
Nah, so if you guys are here to see me or here to see Curt, put it in the chat because we already know what it is. Go
Yeah.
ahead and put that Curt the connector in the chat so we can go ahead and get started. Today is Wisdom Wednesday, so you know what we do on Wisdom Wednesday. We have entrepreneurs and people who are going through their own transition into corporatepreneur, entrepreneur, all those different preneurs that we are learning, and we are literally having a discussion about what was the wisdom that came along with your journey. And how did you come into your full self?
Right.
So without further ado, would you introduce yourself for the folks, Curt?
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? And first off, I always give thanks for being able to come and have a conversation on someone else's platform. So thank you. Uh, Listen, I'm just a young dude out here working to figure out branding and marketing and mindset, and all the ways that it can impact us in this entrepreneur and small business ownership space. As I like to tell people, I'm not a go-getter, I'm a go-giver, and I give 5 times as much as I want to get. So, I figured that if I give every day and I empty the tank every day of giving, then that means that the next day I can give even more. And by giving, I get. So, that's who I am at the core. Of course, the connector. I love to connect people, mindset, and everything together, because it really does start with mindset and getting clarity on what you do and why you do it. So,
Mm-hmm.
I like to say, yeah, we all dress up, we do our hair, we put our, people put the makeup on, you get a fresh cut, and then you go look in the mirror and you really want to see how good you are so you can go out in the world and present yourself. But if you got a foggy mirror, if you got a dirty mirror, I'm the person that comes in and cleans off the mirror and help you get clarity and get your mindset together before you do anything else. I like to say, if you're walking around in a dark room, I'm the person that turns the light on.
In darkness, the best thing that you can do is get that clarity. That's
Yeah,
literally where the money is, literally, and then it's also where the money is, like in terms of figurative, like where we live, how we live our lives. That's
right.
amazing. So that's the impetus of you creating the brand, Curt the Creator. Have you read Go Giver? I heard you say Go Giver. You're a Go Giver. Have you read that book?
I've read it multiple times.
So let's start there. I love Go Giver. And I know some people might not even understand what that even means. Can you differentiate the two for us? What's the difference between a go-getter and a go-giver?
So if you listen to the words, a go-getter goes out there and gets things. It's the person that picks things up, attracts things, grabs those items, and has those items. So they go out there to get things. If you think of nature, they would be the people that are harvesting. They're going out to the fields and they're harvesting everything to bring it back. A giver is the person that goes out and plants. They're the person with the seeds that go out there and drop the seeds everywhere. They go out there and give to the community. So the getters bring, the givers give it out. So the givers are actually actively out there giving what the people need. In our community, we've heard this said, is that a giver understands your problem better than you, and they are able to see what the issues are that are arising. So they can see, okay, people are starting to get hungry. They can see the where the weaknesses in certain things are, and they go out to give to the people. They meet people where they are. So that's when giving. To give, you get. So to get food, you have to give seeds. You have to plant inspiration, and you have to plant, the mindset. And what you will get back is when people harvest that, they give that back to you. So, as the
Mm.
yeah, as a go-giver, it's all about, I plant the seed now, and I may never see. I heard something today that was powerful.
Hmm.
I'm planting seeds for other people to climb the trees to get the fruit.
Yes. I've also heard I'm planting the seeds for my grandchildren to reap the shade,
Right.
right? For them to sit under and just be comfortable.
Yeah.
And those are two different mindsets. As you explain the difference between a go getter and a go giver, I have this belief that everyone should be a go giver, but I also recognize the two qualities that you pull out in two different people. And then we respect like different people's personalities, right? So like if you have a client and they haven't yet started to embrace the go-giver mentality, what's like how do you get someone to go from the transition of being a go-getter to the word that I'm trying to acknowledging the value of, being a go-giver?
First is getting clarity on why they're doing what they do. If you are unaware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, then you don't, you will miss why it's important to give. you know. So the first thing is getting that clarity. Second is adjusting the mindset. Um, I'm not a counselor, but in understanding how to listen and how to frame questions, it's also healing and working on healing some of the hurt from when you've been hurt, when you gave before. Giving is
Mm,
not, Giving is a great thing. The problem is when we give in the wrong space and at the wrong time, and we don't understand the lessons when we're giving, you know, because you can still give and set boundaries. You can still give and protect your energy. But it's really understanding that in giving, you will get twice as much. But giving is a long-term thing. It's not microwave. I like to call it, it's more crock pot. You're going to have to put it in there, let it cook, let it simmer. It's going to be a slow warm. But once you take it out, it tastes better than that microwave. So, yeah,
yes, that resonates with me on so many levels. I like to tell people, look, I'm gumbo. I'm a slow boil, so you
yeah,
don't try to eat me before I'm ready,
yeah,
because like
yeah.
you got to take time. Good things take time. So I resonate with that. One thing that you like, what one thing that intrigues me about you is like your journey and how you became this person, this Curt the connector person, because we all have our journey to self-discovery. We all have our journey to entrepreneurship. We all have our journeys, right?
Right.
So can you walk us through a little bit about like who was Curt the creator before the connector became Curt the connector?
Um,
If that ain't a tongue twister.
so looking back, I've always been that type of person, and I think just from growing up in the South, growing up in Louisiana and Mississippi, Alabama, all the southern states. Um, my grandfather, I think, planted that in me, and my social upbringing taught that to me. Uh, my grandfather was big on helping others and giving to others. So I saw that all my life, growing up. He was just big on, if he could help someone, if he could go out and support someone, he would. Um, and then having mentors, and, I was big into sports. And so that team aspect, where it's bigger, we is more important than me, but in we, I can still be me, you know. And so that journey started there, like seeing it, going out, helping. My grandmother would make a plate and have me take it to my next door, her next door neighbor, and then go across the street to an elderly woman who couldn't take care of herself. She would have me make a plate every Sunday and make sure everything was good over there. And, my grandfather was like, it's always better to give than to get. And so he gave me those lessons, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
as I grew up, I didn't know it at the time because I wasn't, personal development and all that. It was more wisdom. But
Mhm.
as I
Mhm.
grew up, looking back, I was always the person that just knew everybody. You know, uh, when I started this, everybody used to say the plug because I was always the person that knew somebody. And so I remember a friend of mine's dad told me, when you're in school, you need to know three people. You need to know the janitor. You need to know the people that run the kitchen, and then you need to know the teacher that has the biggest influence. And so those are the three people that you need to know. And from that started teaching me the power of making connections and everywhere going and knowing people. And that's where it came from. My friends would be like, "Hey, man, I need, man, my bike broke," and I'd be like, "Oh, take it over here to this person, and did you know they fix bikes?" Or, "Man, we need a football, or we need a basketball, or we need to go to a court." And I'd be like, "Oh, did y'all know this?" Because they'd be like, "Man, how do you know that?" And then what really came about was, I remember one of my friends, we was going somewhere. We went to a gas station. In the South, we walked everywhere. And we went to a gas station. I walked in, I just started talking to the person behind the counter. And I end up helping them move some boxes. And they was like, "Hey, you guys want some cookies and some drinks?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I got my friend with me." And so when we walked out, he's like, "We can never go anywhere without somebody giving." He's like, "Did you know that person?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Dude, everywhere you go, you connect with people." And so when looking back, I was always the person that knew somebody. You need a TV, go talk to this person. You need a car fixed, go talk to this person. So connecting has been something that's been a central theme all my life. And so that's been the journey.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
That's interesting. We live in the day and age of social media, right? And of course, you look at Curt the Connector, you're like, oh, that's a dope name. You came by that one, but it sounds like you've been Curt the Connector all your life.
yeah,
Like this
yeah,
is not just a social media presence,
yeah.
and this
And it,
isn't just a recent identity of yours.
it's a recent discovery of the power of collaborating, partnerships, and connecting. And really now studying it, I really started to understand that no one's successful in a box. No one is successful in a stovepipe. There's no self-made person. You have been benefited from someone pouring into you, helping you, guiding you, showing up in some way. And again, going back to the we is greater than me, when I've looked at big businesses, they've they've really prospered by the connections that they have, the network that they have. They say business deals are not made in the boardroom, they're made on the golf course. And that's the leverage of your relationships and connections. And so when I started going on this journey, really, I know it's very confusing to say, okay, what is that? Because it's not a product. It's not a t-shirt where I make a t-shirt, I sell a t-shirt, I see it instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Connecting, you don't see it at first. It's almost like planting a flower. You don't see anything above the surface, but the roots are going deeper and deeper and deeper. And then before you know it, you have, something blossoming. And connections you don't see at first. So what I did was, Jose asked me a question. He was like, "Okay, that sounds good, but how can you quantify that? What can you do with that?" And one day I said, "You know what? I want to be number one at collaborating and partnering. And I want to take relationships and show people how to weaponize them, how to connect people to each other and partner." Because one thing during the pandemic that was said was most businesses 40% of businesses shut down in the first 2 years, and that's directly aligned to who you connected to. Because I
Mm,
can't do it all myself. But if
mm,
I connect to another business, one, that business can help me stay afloat. Two,
mm,
I may have something that that other business doesn't, but if we partner together, both of us can get the bag. And then the really big thing is, as I studied business, is that if you notice, if you go like to places like Memphis, Atlanta,
mm,
Houston, Austin, Miami, you will
mm,
notice that they have restaurant row, they have bar row, they have business row. If you think of California, Rodeo Drive,
Okay, that's the
They have,
retail row.
yeah, retail role. But what is that? That's all the businesses centrally located. Why? Because they realize that the more people they can get in that area, the more all the businesses can benefit. Because I can't service every customer. But if we have everybody located, someone's going to be like, man, I really want to go here. But you know what? They're packed. Let's go across the street. And so what I looked to do was educate people on how to not make it a competition that pulls us apart, but make us a competition that elevates us. I
Mm-hmm.
want to do great, and I want you to do great. And if we're located together, then we
Mm-hmm.
can get more eyes on both of us. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to compete with you in the way of, if you came to my store and I don't have something that the customer wants, I could recommend them to you. You know, I can be like, hey, I know somebody just for you. Go across the street, Ariel, let her know Curt sent you, and she'll take care of you. Or,
Right.
hey, Ariel, I got this person here. I know that, you know, they're looking for coaching services. I know that's what you do. I'm going to send them over to you. This is their name. This is what they're looking for, and they're walking over to you right now. Now,
Mm.
what that does, that person feels like they've been taken care of. That
Yeah.
person feels like somebody listened to me and they recognized that I had a problem, and
Mm-hmm.
they did what I call the warm setup,
Yeah, the warm handoff.
the warm handoff.
Absolutely. So what does it look like? I'm seeing the vision 100%. And I'm curious. I have so many questions. I'm going to try to keep them succinct
Right.
because what does it look like for, your initial clients, and you're working with small business owners or
Yep.
entrepreneurs, right?
Yep.
What does that transformation look like? Kind of similar to what Jose was trying to get at, because I'm very much a quantifiable person as well.
Right.
I'm a data person. But what is that? And I can intrinsically understand the value of what you're saying. So when I
Right.
ask you this question, I'm really just curious, what's the transformation look like for a person who, one, doesn't understand the value of that connection? Maybe they do a little bit, but they don't have a lot of connections. And then the level up after working with you, now that they realize it. Is it a tangible, like, oh, Curt's going to connect me with somebody, or Curt's going to help me understand who are like natural allies? What's your process?
So the process really is, that's what we do with the call to figure out what's the lane that you need to go in. Because
Okay.
I avoid putting people in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, when I sit down and talk to you, let's figure out what you need. You know, that's where I see a lot of times coaches make a mistake, is
Mm-hmm.
that, and I'm not going to say a mistake, we are looking at it through our lens. And
Mm-hmm.
so if I'm just telling you what works for me, that doesn't help you when you walk away from me. So
Right.
first, let's figure out and get clarity. Let's get understanding of what you need. You really may just need mindset. Okay, let's work on that. You may just need clarity, or, you know, marketing and branding. Let's work on that. Now, if you need connections, then that's where, okay, if we need connections, then what we're going to do is, what connection do you need? And that's where the clarity comes in. Do you need somebody's system? Do you need process? Do you just need to clean up your process? Let's figure out what you need and how to connect it. Sometimes it's just connecting what you do, why you do it, and how you do it. Okay, we're reading the book Who Not How. This is how you want to do things. Who can help you? And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I hear a lot of times, well, I'm doing this, this, and this. Okay, let's stop for a second. How much time could you save if you found someone that could take care of these tasks? Someone that can take care of looking at your emails, someone that can take care of going out and talking to people for you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
utilizing people in their strength. And then
Mm.
from that, let's figure out some questions that make you comfortable. Because again, if I once we're done, I want you comfortable. I want you with some tangible questions that you
Mm-hmm.
can ask people that can give you clarity on what you need.
I like it. This
Yeah.
is this sounds like when I used to do interview coaching. And if I'm going to help you, it's like networking. Like I'm
Yep.
basically getting clear on what are you actually curious about, what lane, what job, what role do you want, and then if you're sitting in front of these people, what do you truly want to know, so that you're not just setting up these random coffee chats with people and you're feeling uncomfortable. Like, what am I doing here?
Right.
Am I getting that right?
Yep. Yep. And then from there, sometimes it's okay, if I find out this is what you need, I will
Mm-hmm.
do the warm handoff. I will
Oh,
go
okay.
out and find the person,
Okay.
I will use, my network, my connections with people to
Mm-hmm.
go out and say, hey, okay, I know you need someone that does systems and business processes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, X, Y, and Z, this is what this person needs. This is who this person is. I want to set you guys up a consultation. Is that
Mm-hmm.
cool? That's where knowing, I like to know the people that you're looking for so I can find the people that you're looking for, because you can't be everywhere. And the more people you can put in a room, the more people you have like a connector, or somebody that understands networking, then
Mm-hmm.
you can come and say, hey, Curt, these are the people I'm looking for. This is the price bracket. This is what I'm looking for mindset wise. If you come across them, please send them my way. Cool. Got you. And now what I'm doing is out there looking for those people, because
Mm-hmm.
I am not afraid. I never meet a stranger. So as I'm talking to people, I'm picking that up. And I'm like, oh, well, I can help you. I know somebody that's dope that can coach you in this business. You're looking, so I'll give it to people as they're watching real quick. I'm talking to someone. They're looking to transition from their 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
course, I know that's where you help people.
Absolutely.
So as I'm talking to them, they're like, yeah, you know what? I'm tired of this 9 to 5. I'm ready to transition. I'm ready to get out of this. Okay, I start going into, so you're ready to transition. Have you prepared yourself? Nope. Have you talked to someone? Nope. Well, if you was able to talk to someone that could give you some tangible steps, would that help you? Oh my gosh, that would do me great. I know somebody for you. Hey, I met this person. This is what they're looking for. Is this someone that you can help? Do you
Mm-hmm.
have the time and the opportunity to help them? You may say, Curt, I don't. I'm packed right now. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or you may say, yep, that is perfect. That is my exact client. Bet. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you guys meet each other. And so
Mm-hmm.
from there, that gives you the person, and then that gets them that help. And now what I've done is use what I naturally do to help each other, to help two people.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Now, I'm curious, like, the work that you do is, you have to correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds reputation sensitive. Have you ever made any, like, not directly made any bad connections, or in your own experience, have you personally connected with someone you're like, ooh, I should never done that? Like,
Oh
what are
yeah.
some of the lessons that you've learned
Oh yeah.
through some of those like bad connections?
Being a big thinker, you think everything's going to work. You think
Yeah.
you think everyone is ready to do it, and
Yeah.
you learn that people are at different stages of their life, and some of those stages you're not the person right for them in that season, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I really had to learn it's okay. Do your best, sit down, and give your all.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid overselling
Mm-hmm.
and under listening. Because sometimes when you listen, you be like, that person's not at the right place. But I would have never known that if I wouldn't have made a bad connection. Sometimes, here's one thing that I did. I spoke for someone and I wasn't responsible for answering that question or saying that to that person, and they said, well, Curt, why would you say that? Why would you promise them something that you don't know that I can deliver? Got it.
Got it.
Got it. Or I overpromised what somebody could deliver, and
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "Hey, you sent me up this connection, and that ain't what they do." Ooh, okay, got it. Because I'm a big experienced person, and so when the experience goes bad, that hurts. But I also had to understand you have to be wary of who you're pouring into and what you're promising, and so avoid those. But I didn't learn that until I fell on my face a couple times.
Yeah, as we talk about, the in the morning meetup, we talk about doing it ugly, right? And so much of what I do is people centered, right? So when we think about, yeah, Apple launching the iPad, it's like do it ugly because you can do another one. But so many times I might overthink a relationship because I'm like, you don't want to just randomly collide two different people together because you never know if it's gonna work. So where do you stand with like taking chances in this space?
Um, I've become a comfortable chance taker,
Mm.
and then I've put processes in place, questions in place, acceptance in place to avoid I call it turtling. You get nervous and then you shrink back into your shell.
Yeah.
So I've had to learn the only way to really learn is you have to take
Mm.
chance. If you're taking chances, you're active.
Mm.
And I'm a big being proactive type of person
Yeah.
because I've lived a reactive time in my life and I know how that feels. And so when you're reactive, you're always like everything's snowballing and, overwhelming you. But when you look at people that have been great and you do the things and mimic the things that greats do, they are willing to take risk and chances. It's understanding what are the risks and what can I chance. You know, um, there's a saying that says, be careful creating a ripple in water if you're not ready for the tide. So be careful if you're not ready for dropping a big rock in the water, then don't. That's not a chance for you. That's not a risk for you. But if you're ready for it and you do the best case, looking at everything, take the chance. You're either going to learn or you're going to execute. I don't lose. I learn or I win. But that's my mindset.
Tell me more about the concept of turtling. Give me an example. Like, what does that look like when you're coaching somebody? You're like, oh no, that's you turtling. Like, what does that
Yeah.
look like?
So, okay. Again, you're a business.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking to um, have host a summit, or you're looking to host a webinar to get people there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you need to go talk to someone. You need to go talk
Mm-hmm.
to someone about event space. But you're
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I can't go over there because they're already gonna say no. And it's like, okay, we set it up. All you got to do is go talk to them. And then you're like, no, because last time I talked to someone, it didn't go well. Or the last time I talked to someone, I got burned. It's like, but you're turtling right now.
Mm.
Take. What did you learn from the last time?
Okay.
Okay, now take what you learned, forgive yourself, forgive them, and now go talk to this person because that person has nothing to do with the person that did wrong before or the person that hurt you before. Take the chance now because on the other side of chance is opportunity, and on the other side of opportunity is choice. And when you have choices, you have power. So turtling looks like that. It's like, oh, I need to go talk to that person. Or if you had a networking event, it's like, hey, that's the person that you need to go talk to. No, I can't go talk to them. They look like they busy. Oh no, I can't go talk to them. They wouldn't talk to me. You're turtling. You're
Mm-hmm.
shrinking back into your shell.
That makes sense. When I think of when you said it at first, the mental imagery for me was like you walk up to a person and like right before you shake your hand, you're like, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind.
Exactly. You're like you go in. What Kevin Hart gave an example of talking to Jeff Bezos, and he's like, "Why would you go over there and talk to?" He's like, "Why wouldn't I go over there? He's $1 billion. I need to talk to him." But like you said, people go up and right before they talk to him, they like, "Oh no, no, okay." They turn and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what came to my mind. Okay, that makes sense. I like this terminology. I like this terminology. I'm gonna be using some of this just to let you know.
No problem.
Um, so as you evolve into a business owner yourself, I'm curious, how did you, because you are naturally a connector, right?
Hmm.
You're the plug, but the plug doesn't always get paid for what they do when they make connections. When did you start to learn how to monetize your skill set?
I'm still learning, really. But what I did is I set um, a time frame,
Mm-hmm.
and I basically said for a year I'm going to work.
Mm.
That's it. I'm
Mm.
going to work, go through it, get the reps, the calluses, stretch, strain. And in doing that, in creating the processes and the systems, I will get clarity myself, and I will learn how to monetize it. Because at
Mm-hmm.
first, I didn't start off. Of course, I'm a motivator. That's what I'm a motivator. There's 1,000 motivators,
Motivators. Yeah.
but it's really working to niche down. So that's what I did. I would tell anybody, you have to Until you've given to 100 people, you don't really understand the power of giving. Until you go out and you you fall forward, you fail a little bit, you get the bruises, you have to put the band-aids on those bruises. You really can't say I can give. But
Mm.
confidence comes from your competence. So when you're more competent in something, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the better your conversation. The better your conversation, the better your compensation. But you
Mm.
don't do that until you go through the process. I put myself in a vacuum of, I'm going to work, I'm going to read, I'm going to get in the room, I'm going to serve with a purpose, and then what did I learn from it? And so once you do that and you get through those reps, then after that, you can realize, like, okay, you know what? I've done this enough. I can charge for this.
Mm-hmm.
I can do both. I can still serve, I can still
Mm-hmm.
give, but pay a man for his time and for his work. And so now I can say, nope, this is what I will do. And then
Absolutely.
I'd say I will do two things. You will pay me the price, or I will do it for free. I'm not going to discount it. You're going to pay me the price, or I'm going to do it for free.
I think that's strong, and it's actually been a motif that I've been hearing lately, which is a mindset that I need to establish. Because I haven't put myself in a position where I've offered something so high that they couldn't afford it, to end the point where I was actually willing to do it for free. However, that mindset totally makes sense, because I think David said it on a podcast, that he said, he had maybe something like a $15,000 service, and somebody was like, oh, I don't have the money, to actually pay you. And they said, well, I'll do it for free, because I'm not doing it for $799. I do it for
Right.
$7,000. You think that's my price? Now I'm stuck at $7,000.
Right.
But it sounds like for you, you'll do it long enough to the point where you get the reps. And it sounds like you're serving with a purpose, meaning that you're not, even your beginning journey, you weren't necessarily charging for it. But once you've gotten to a place where you recognize the value of it, you were comfortable with charging your price.
Yep. 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 And
Mm-hmm.
that's important. And that's why, I like to study my environment. I like to call myself a lifelong learner. I grew
Mm-hmm.
up in a time where people had apprentices,
Mm-hmm.
so that
Mm-hmm.
means, like, you would have somebody come in and learn under that person. And you
Yes.
may not have gotten paid, but
Yes.
what you received was knowledge. And knowledge,
Absolutely.
if you have knowledge, you will always be able to generate an income.
Yeah.
And so, what's up, Proud by Pack? What's happening?
What
So,
up?
that's what I learned too. Sometimes you have to get in a room and learn from quote unquote masters. See the process, see what they go through, be a part of the conversations, and learn from it. When you're able to learn from it, you can go out and execute it. But a lot of times people are like, I'm not willing to be, under anyone and be an apprentice to them.
Mm.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Because what
Mm-hmm.
they're showing you is the process. They're
Mm-hmm.
showing you the power behind going through the steps. It's just like in sports. You have to get coached. You have to learn the reps and the right technique, because technique will last with you forever. So if you get under a coach and they're able to coach you, now we don't say that. Now, why do we not say that? Why do we not do that? This is what we should do, and this is why. Now you're walking out and you're able to get, like, they take you and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to be right here with you.
Yep.
I'm going to listen to you coach or consult or guide that person. And then
Yep.
they give you feedback, you
Yep.
know. And now when you give feedback, you're like, okay, I see what I did. I see where I can improve, and I see where
Mm-hmm.
I can get better. And that's my three things in anything. What did I do well? Where can I improve? And what can I do to get better?
Yeah.
And I keep that loop going. Anybody I talk to, I'm like, hey, thank you. If they say you did a great job, but what can I do to get better?
Mm. You
And
have
but
this. Oh,
I
go
brace
ahead.
myself for whatever they tell me too. That's the other part. You got to be
Mm.
vulnerable enough to accept what they tell you, because they may tell you you was trash. Okay, but how can I get better?
You have, so your mindset of always being a student. Clearly, everybody is resonating with you. Look, it's important to be a student. Somebody said that's real. Somebody was literally like, Somebody said that's real. Everybody's in the chat co-signing everything you're saying, right? So you lead with a student heart, right?
Right.
And it's no secret that you are among some of the heaviest influencers in our community. And at times it can be, even as an adult, it can be challenging to find mentors. Everybody's like, how do I find a mentor? How do I get a mentor? And then, do I have to pay? Do I not have to pay? So how do you maintain that balance between free leadership or free guidance, paid guidance, and then how do you make yourself how do you make it known that you're serving with the intention that you want to maintain this, your business, your status of being a business owner?
So, first, be okay with asking, because we all resonate with people, but not everyone is for us, and some people are not the end all be all. What I learned was segmentation, meaning I can have someone that is my mentor in finances, but they're not my mentor in emotional intelligence or energy intelligence. Then I can have somebody that's great in energy intelligence. They're not the person that I'm going to talk to for financing. But if someone resonates with me, if I hear someone, I'm like, yo, I like that, I just go and talk to them and ask them questions. Hey, how you doing? It was great hearing from you. I love what you said. I was really impacted by that. Do you have any time where we can sit down and see if we can have a mentee mentor relationship? Is that something that you're open to? Now, here's the thing. Be okay with hearing no, because some people, they're not in the space for it. And everyone is not ready to be the person to pour back into you. So if someone tells you no, thank you, great. Someone says yes, then value their time. You have to give something.
Mm-hmm.
If they say 10 o'clock a.m., be there at 9:45. And also see how you can give back to them. What I've learned is that if you really want to be powerful, do something, figure out what that person needs that they didn't know they need, and do it so well that if you stop doing it, they're like, I need that back. That helped me, But the first things first is be okay with asking, hey,
Mm-hmm.
can you, do you, will you? And once that happens, then pay attention to what they're doing, execute it, allow them to guide you, mentor you, and realize that mentor may just be for a season, and that's okay. But grab all the information that you can. But first and foremost, be okay with asking. Ask not, you get not.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, that's a word for me too. You guys put whatever you want in the chat, because if it resonates with you, don't let us just out here talk, because I'm receiving it 100%. I'm curious your perspective on getting in the room, right? I think some people take that and they literally just go run with it. If I'm in the room, if I take pictures with the right people, then I'm gonna be lit, right? But what's your strategy when it comes to getting in the room?
Um, so I like to reverse engineer everything. That's just the scientist in me. But to get in the room, again, I ask myself this question: how much am I willing to give? What's my time frame for giving? And is this someone that I want to follow? So for me to get in the room, I watch, I look, I learn, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to. That's where my mindset kicks in. I'm going to
Mm,
work so hard that I'm going to get in the room. And even if I don't get in the room, what I've gone through learning to get in the room will prepare me for the next room. Because this room may not be for me for whatever reason. But what did I learn from it? But for
mm,
my strategy to get in the room is, again, looking at myself, what I resonate with, who I resonate with, and then looking. Some of the people that I'm rocking with is simply because I listened to what they said and I executed it. Look at Nikki. Nikki told me, or she said on one time, she said, "Hey, people pay attention when you are engaging, when you're active, when you're showing up." Those three things I put down and said, "Okay, if this is what she says, I'm gonna hold her to it. I'm going to start engaging. I'm going to start showing up. I'm going to start giving, and I'm going to keep doing it." And before you know it, It was like, yo, who are you? Like, I see you all the time. Yes, and that's what it is. I'm going to show up until you notice me. I'm going to stand outside this store every day, every morning, and say hello. And then I'm going to start learning that you like coffee, 2 sugars, 1 cream. And guess what? I'm going to have 2 sugars and 1 cream one day. Hey, here's a coffee for you. It's like, how did you know that I even like coffee? Because I listened twice as much as I talked. So I'm listening to what you're saying. Man, it would have been great to have coffee this morning, but I'm struggling. Guess what you're going to have tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because what does that do? That gets me the opportunity for you to say, hey, come here. I'm about to walk in here. Bring that coffee with me. That's all I need. That's all I need. I like to say, I'm going to be a rat. A rat just needs to get their nose in. And once they get their nose in, they can figure everything else out. I just need to get in the room. I just need to get there with you. I just need you to walk. I just need to walk with you. And as I'm walking, I'm listening, though. I'm listening. Okay, this is what else they like. This is what else they need. Okay, this is what else they want. I'll hold your bag. I'll hold your umbrella. I just looked at the story about Quavo's personal assistant. He makes $5,000 a day. He's a millionaire for holding an umbrella and being a personal assistant. If you can do the common things in an uncommon way, you will forever be vital and important. I came up with that one the other day. If you can do the common things in an uncommon way, you will forever be valued and important.
I love it. Now I'm thinking about what can I do in an uncommon way. I probably already do something in an uncommon way, but I never asked myself that question. So that's going to be my journal exercise tonight.
Yep. Ask yourself that. What is the common thing that I can do in an uncommon way? If that's simply opening the door at a building, having the chairs set up, having the napkins out, having the drinks set up, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be consistent with it. Every day you come in, the chair is going to be set up, the door is going to be open, on time, ready to go. If you can do that, can you sharpen a pencil for a business owner? Yep, I can take all 10 of these pencils. When you come in the next day, all your pencils are sharpened. I notice your pens are out. You know what? And here's the thing, being resourceful. It's like, and so when you asked about connecting, right? And again, this is personal development and realizing who I am.
Mm-hmm.
If I see a business owner is out of pencils and I wanted to get in the room, right? What color pencil do they need? What kind of pencil do they utilize, or pen? I know the person in the mailroom, because you sometimes don't realize relationships pay off later. Okay, I know the person in the mailroom. Hey, can I get 5 pens? Why? I need 5 pens because the business owner got a big meeting tomorrow, and it would be terrible if they didn't have a pen that worked.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the pens. Hey, I know tomorrow you got a meeting, right? Yeah, I do. Hey, here's 5 pens just to make sure that tomorrow you're able to sign the document. How did you know I needed pen? Oh, I just walked by and I noticed that you had made mention that you didn't have enough pens. So because you got a big business, it wouldn't look good for you to show up without a pen. So I just went ahead, and not only did I get you 1 pen, I got you 4 more. Remember, I'm going to give 5 times more. So I'm not going to bring you 1. I'm going to bring you 5 of them. I need that. Hey, man, come here. Let me talk to you. Let me figure out who you are. That's all I need. That's all I need.
Curt, you talking spicy now. You talking spicy now. Okay. That's strategy. That is strategy right there.
Yeah.
That it takes, to me, what you're saying, it takes humility. It takes for you to be humble. It takes for you to be poised. It takes for you to be patient, because that stuff takes time to cultivate. But you can't just like run through there like, I got the value. Look, I'm going to be your business partner tomorrow. Because then they're going to be like, hold up, buddy.
I don't know.
You literally, you just gave us a whole strategy of like inching into someone who you genuinely want to be connected with, providing value, and then just allowing them to come to you.
Yes, I don't chase anymore.
Anymore. Yeah. You know you got to tell us about the anymore. What you mean? What tell us.
Because, we all go through the moment where we want to chase the fame, the fortune, the being, taking the picture with someone. But it's like, okay, you take that picture with them, But if you see them again, they don't remember who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't done anything for them. And
Yeah.
so I would rather me do something and never get the picture than get the picture and never have anything afterwards. You know, so I would
Mm-hmm.
rather make an impact than just be included.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what I've learned too about business owners, the higher business owners go, the smaller their circle, the slower they are to open it, because they start to recognize too, and they have to figure out, why are you here? And so for me, it's like, hey, I'm going to show up and be consistent. I'm not going to, because when you chase it, it's forever moving. But when it's like feeding a cat. If you chase a cat, the cat's going to run. Okay, what I'm going to do is take the food, sit it right here, and just sit here. At some point, you're going to get hungry. And when you get hungry, you now get attracted to the food. And at that point, I can take care of it. So I'm not going to chase. I'm going to do the work to attract it. And once I attract it, now it's a different type of conversation. Because chasing things, they're always moving. You can chase the vision. Don't chase
Mm-hmm.
money. Money moves too much.
Mm-hmm. Look, you talking real serious. I'm not even joking, because you hitting a couple chords, and you speaking specifically. So I know I'm not the only one out here getting hit in the crossfire. So y'all just go ahead and be honest. Put the little heart emojis in the chat if you're feeling this one, because I'm like, okay, there's so many people who want to get in the room. And all you have to do is just be yourself. Not only be yourself consistently. And then when the things come to you, don't change up. Don't switch it up. Do exactly what you did to get their attention, because that is what it is that's got you the connection in the first place.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
beautiful. That's beautiful. So I got to ask you, one, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta thank you
No, thank you.
for joining my platform, for joining and just really, like I said, pouring into us from a wisdom perspective, because we can all learn from you. I have a feeling that as other of us, like social, not social, but solo entrepreneurs come up into the game, I think there's a lot that we can come to you with, and literally kind of, you could be the connecting therapist on some real stuff, because
Right.
making those missteps in this world, sometimes you could overthink it. You could overstep your boundaries. You could turtle up, right? It's your
Right.
moment and you turtle.
Right.
It sounds like you're the person who brings the value to say, hey, no, this is how you become your best self in these moments where once your light is shining, this is what you need to do once the attention is on you. This is how
Right.
you show up. This is
Right.
how you build relationships with other people. That is
Yep.
so valuable. I don't
Yep.
even know what your price is, but man, yeah, you better connect with him right now before his price goes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will tell you that now. That is very valuable. Very
Yeah.
valuable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I might even
Control
be
the
setting up a
stage.
consultation myself.
Yeah. I like to say control the stage, control the spotlight. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people, and again, we have to understand who we are, right?
Mhm.
And we
Mhm.
all have a purpose. We all have a reason. But my reason is not your reason. But that doesn't mean that we can't work together if our energies and mindsets are aligned.
Right.
Um, but I've started to understand, when I say control the spotlight, the person that's really powerful is not just the person that's in the middle with the microphone. It's the person shining the light on the person. Now, the person shining the light, they don't know. But think about it. If the lights go out, no matter what I'm singing, if people can't see me, it's not as impactful.
Right.
So control the spotlight, you know,
Mhm.
and when your light is on,
Mhm.
that's not the time to shrink. You know, my man
Yeah.
Jeremy said the other day, light bulbs never fight each other about who's going to shine the brightest.
Come on, Curt.
Yeah,
Come on.
light bulbs never fight about who's going to shine the brightest. You
They
know,
just shine.
they just shine, you
They
know,
do what they're supposed to do.
and that's it. Do what you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to hold a light, and this came from my grandfather too, if you're going to dig a ditch, be the best ditch digger ever. But he
Mm.
also said, if whatever you do it so well that your name precedes you. And I like to say, when I'm coaching people, is that you should be able to put your name on something, and people are it's almost automatic that they know that it's at such a level of excellence. They're not even going to check, because excellence is the standard, not the goal. And so if you do it consistently,
Yes.
you can show up and say your name, and people are like, no,
Yeah.
I know that's good. Matter of fact, It's like, I call it the Chick-fil-A theory. Chick-fil-A is so good at what they do. If they forget your fries, you will forgive them.
Yeah.
You'll be like, you know what? I ain't even worried about it. But if you did call back, they'd be like, hey, how can we help you? Hey, what's your name? We got some fries whenever you come through.
Yep.
But because they've been consistently excellent,
Yeah.
their name, I ask anybody, just do a mental thought. When you go to Chick-fil-A, you probably don't even check your bag.
Because you just know.
You
You
just
know that they
know.
got you.
You know they're going to take care of you because
Yeah.
they're the way they treat you when they first meet you, the way
Yeah.
they nurture you all the way throughout. And here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, the way they take care of you once the transaction happens,
Yeah.
the way they transform you emotionally when you leave.
Yes.
And so when that happens, you're taken care of. So work to the level that you can put your name on something and people are like, yo, Curt, Ariel, Daya, Blue Fox, anybody, yo, I know that's straight. I'm gonna look over I'm gonna glaze, but I know it's good because
Yeah.
the other 9 times that they did it,
Yep.
it was at such a level. I know that's their standard. Their
Yep.
standard is excellence. They're gonna meet you the same way each and every time. That consistency. And so when you do that, and when you take care of people like that, and you realize that this is who you are, this is why you're doing it, and it's okay to be you. It's okay. Really, it is okay to be you. And if by being you and being true to you, you will always attract the right people for you.
100%.
Not everybody, because everybody's
Mm.
not for you.
Mm.
Attract the right people for you. But in the midst of that, you got to go through a couple wrongs to understand the rights.
Yeah, you're right, man. I feel it. So I really do because I'm big on strengths, right? You guys do disc, I do
Yep.
strengths, and I love pairing them together. But I'm heavy on relationship building, and sometimes it's just a natural skill. It hasn't always been a superpower. So I made some missteps, right? Because
Right.
I've overextended myself where I didn't necessarily know how to stay consistent when the light was shining. It's like, oh, now I gotta do a dance. It's like, well, you wasn't doing a dance before, so you don't have to do a dance now. So I just want to say you have 100% like shared some wisdom today. You have met the standard of excellence for today. I have
Thank
one
you.
question for you though.
Yes.
You
Yes.
mentioned a while back, like the roles and how these businesses are like working together on Rodeo Drive versus like the food versus like all these different relationships that have flourished because they're connected. And I'm curious what your vision is for utilizing your skill set. Like I know we're still cultivating our superpower. What's your vision and how can we keep our eye on you? Where are you going next?
So, my big vision is to really show people how you can work with other people in a way that can be mutually beneficial for everyone without tearing each other down. You know, again, I'm a big music person, right? And one of the things when studying music that I noticed, all the great groups ended up having a moment where they tore each other apart. And if they would have stayed together, who knows where they would have been, right? Again, I'm a big sports person. The great teams are able to come together and do their job.
Mm-hmm.
I like football. If 11, so you have 11 people, if each person does their job 11 times, then all 11 people doing their job at the excellent level, you will most likely put yourself in a place of success. So what I
Yeah.
want to show people is how you can work with people and we can still be competitive positively inside of working together to produce the best product. But what I do, it doesn't have to offend what you do. But both of us doing what we do together, think about what we can achieve. I want to show people how you can work together and 2 people, 3 people, 4 people can come together and really take over and be able to serve and give and impact people because you was able to come together. Because again, I'm a big cartoon person too. Combined to form like Voltron, we have one common enemy.
Yeah.
If we're separated, we're not as strong as we are together. I call it, here's my other thing. I call it the power of the fist, right? All five fingers separated
Mm-hmm.
are not as strong as a
Mm-hmm.
fist when it comes together.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are able to come together and work together and realize, okay, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. And we don't have to feel offended because I don't want to be in your lane. I'm not supposed to be the CEO and work the mail room and do all the cold calls and the warm calls and the greeting and all that. No,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the best person greeting. You're supposed to be the best person emailing. And I want to give you the ability to maximize your superpower. And when I do that, I know I'm going to get a great product, because why would you leave if you're doing what you love, you're having fun with it, you're learning from it, and you're walking away saying, I feel like I did something impactful today.
Yeah.
I want to come back. So I want to show it for us as a people, to show that we can do the reverse crab in a barrel. That's the other thing. You know, a lot of times you see crab in a barrel and everybody's like, oh, crabs in a barrel pulling each other down, right? But here's what people miss about the crab in a barrel syndrome. The top crab, when it reaches back and grabs the next crab, when the person that holds that crab pulls that crab out, if I have all the other crabs linked together, the crab at the bottom, I can pull out. So as much as you can pull down, I can also pull out. I can reach back and grab the next person and pull them out, and reach back and grab the next person and pull them out, and say, hey, I'm the top. I need you to grab the next person behind you, and the next person behind you, and the next person behind you. And
Yeah.
so that person in the bottom of the barrel, that's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see my way out. All they need is a hand. And once
Mm-hmm.
they get that hand and they hold on, hey, I need you to hold on. Once you pull that one crab out, you look down, there's no more crabs in the barrel. Why? Because you pulled each other out of it.
Yeah, yeah. I get you 100%. We never think about the opposite direction. And through that specific example, you share with us your values, because everyone has a different mindset about the crab in a barrel, but you share your values when you share that example. So I appreciate that 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Curt, for
Thank you.
joining me. I can't
Thank
I
you.
can't thank you enough. But what I will say is, for those of us who want to get connected with you and who need to get your services before your prices go up, because yesterday's price is not today's price.
Listen, I recommend this to everybody. You should have, looking at the stock market, you should have a pre-IPO price and an IPO price. Anybody can use that. That's a Curt secret that I'll share. You should have a pre-IPO price. That means before I go public, this is what you should invest in me. Now, when I go public, that price is going to be totally different. So, the pre-IPO price, but yeah, connect
Like
with
it.
people. Yeah.
I
But you can
like
connect
it.
with me. My link is up. If anybody needs a call, a consultation, they can reach out to me.
Yeah.
I'm open like Wi-Fi, but yeah. So, that's the thing. But like you said, where I'm going, again, I'm willing to learn and give back to people, but not at the expense of taking care of myself. But I'm willing to give back to people. I like to say, once you're ready to invest in you, then I'm ready to invest in you.
Absolutely. I can't thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. I'm going to let you go and get up out of here, Curt. You have
Thank you.
literally blessed us with some really good wisdom today. I could not have asked for a better live this noon.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you guys for joining Dope Live. Thank you. Love this. Well, we love you for joining. And thank you for contributing to the conversation, y'all.
Listen,
Until
let me
next
say
time.
this.
Oh,
Let me say
yeah.
this. Let me say this. If y'all love this person that I'm talking to, Miss Young, drop some hearts, please. Put some hearts in there, because she is fantastic at
Love
what
y'all.
she does, and she's out here making an impact. So just as much as she's blessed me, I want to make sure I bless her. Put some hearts. And if you're watching, put some hearts in there. Give her some love. Reach out and just say thank you to her. Pour into this beautiful person. All right?
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. I see a heart come through. That's a heart. My heart, from my heart to yours, y'all. And
Yep.
have a wonderful day. I got another heart. Yes.
Yep.
Curt, you have a wonderful day.
You
Thank you
too.
so much. I'm going to see you
Thank you.
later.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I still on? Okay. Well, I'm still on. Oh, I see the hearts come through. So I appreciate Curt for saying that. I was going to say tonight we have another special guest. So look, I don't know how anybody is going to crack up to this live right here. So y'all just stay tuned. We'll be live at 8 o'clock tonight. And y'all literally apply some of this wisdom that Curt gave us because it was amazing. I'll see you guys later today. Peace out.